My girlfriend and her first love got arrested for hooking up in a public park. When I went to the police station to bail them out, she was crying in his arms. Both of their necks were covered in hickeys. Sean lost his job. I was just taking him to the park to cheer him up. I wanted to scream at her, but the words died in my throat. It just wasn't worth it anymore. I didn't want to be the controlling asshole she always called me. I just lowered my head, signed the papers, and paid the fine. The officer asked the routine question, "What's your relationship?" I glanced at Stella Ross, who was still clinging to Sean Quinn, and sneered, "We're roommates." My fingers flew across my phone screen, sending a text to my mother. "Mom, I agree to the arranged marriage you mentioned. I'll be home on Christmas Eve." I finally managed to hail a cab and had just pulled the door open. Stella shoved me aside, pulling Sean into the back seat. She looked back at me, her tone matter-of-fact. "I'm taking Sean home first. He's really shaken up after being in a police station. You can just get another cab." I looked at Sean in the back seat. He looked anything but shaken up. "Get your own cab," I said, my voice cold. "This one's mine." Stella's face instantly darkened. "Why do you always have to be so aggressive? Is it that hard for you to be considerate? I already told you, Sean was just upset about his job, so I took him out to clear his head. Those people misunderstood." Before I could reply, she squeezed into the backseat next to him and snatched the umbrella from my hand. The cold rain soaked through my clothes, and I shivered. "This is all your fault for being so late. You have no idea how embarrassing that was. You go home first. I'm going to stay with Sean for a bit." Sean leaned toward the window to look at my miserable state, a brilliant smile on his face. "Sorry, Leo. Stella's just really worried about me." Stella shot him an annoyed glance. "Why are you even talking to him?" With that, she rolled up the window and told the driver to go, leaving me standing on the curb like a drowned rat. By the time I got home, my head was pounding and my throat was starting to itch. A message from my mom popped up with a photo attached. "This is Celia Vance, the woman from the arranged marriage. What do you think?" I barely even saw her face before I typed back, "Perfect." 6 years ago, I ran away from home to escape a marriage arranged by my family. I left everything behind and came to Viridia alone. I was broke, with no friends or family. At my lowest point, I met Stella. She had just graduated and was miserable at her job. She took me back to her small rented apartment. I thought I had found true love. For the 6 years we were together, I gave her everything. I helped her climb from a junior employee to a top executive in her company. I was the ghostwriter behind every one of her project proposals, the silent partner in every assessment. But every time I worked up the courage to propose, she'd make an excuse, telling me to wait a little longer. And this is what I got for waiting. Her, cheating on me with Sean. Now, I was done waiting. From under the coffee table, I pulled out a crumpled booklet. It was a collection of flight stubs from Viridia to the UK. The last one was dated 3 days before Sean returned to the country. Sean had been studying in the UK all these years. All those missed anniversaries and Valentine's days, she had used business trips as an excuse to be with Sean. And I was the fool who believed her, thinking she was genuinely too busy. It was after midnight when Stella came home. I woke up the moment her cold body pressed against mine. The acrid smell of sex mixed with men's cologne clung to her, making my stomach turn. I grabbed her wandering hand. "I have a fever," I said coldly. Her hand froze for a second before she pulled it back, her voice laced with impatience. What a buzzkill. She didn't say anything else, just rolled over with her back to me, pulling the blanket with her. A cold draft washed over me, making my feverish body feel even colder. In the darkness, the faint glow of her phone screen flickered, punctuated by a few stifled giggles. I closed my eyes and pretended to be asleep. When I woke up, Stella was actually making breakfast. In all our years together, even when my stomach ulcer acted up and I begged her for a bowl of porridge, she'd complain that anything delivery could solve wasn't her job. She wasn't my maid, she'd say. I emotionlessly ladled a bowl of porridge